Hello, and welcome to Dress to Kill, your favorite fashion in action movie podcast. This episode is a watch-through of the Bond movie Octopussy from 1983. Happy Holi! We chose this movie to release today because it takes place mostly in India, and today is Holi. Holi is an East Asian holiday that celebrates the start of spring. It's also referred to as the Festival of Love or the Festival of Colors. If you've seen pictures of color powder being thrown around at people, that's a Holi festival. I've actually been to a small Holi festival in the US, and it's so fun, it's gorgeous, but it's a bit dangerous. You really gotta watch those eyes. And that color took about a week to get off my skin. This movie is Girl Gang Goals, it's cartoony funny, and it's India in the 1980s. How fascinating. Please let us know what you thought of the movie and find pictures of the outfits we talked about on our Instagram at Dressed2KillPod and on Twitter at DTKPOD. Don't forget to join us on our Instagram stories on Mondays to vote Keep or Kill for your favorite looks. And on Tuesdays, we're doing Instagram live reviews of Killing Eve Season 4. The looks in this movie are incredible. Happy Holi. Enjoy!
Happy Holi! And to be on theme with this holiday, we decided to watch Octopussy.
Indeed.
From 1983. Yeah. And this is it's a unique movie. It's the one where they travel to India, obviously, but also it's a unique year in the Bond franchise because this is the one year where 2 Bond movies come out. Wait. As I'm saying that, I'm like, did Casino Royale 67 come out also the same year as You Only Live Twice? Okay, so this is the second time I guess it's happened where 2 Bond movies come out in one year. And this is the other movie that came out this year was, do you remember it, Alana?
It's not A View to a Kill,
No.
Is it? That's later.
No, but it's one that we did see though. No, yeah, it's not that one.
There's a lot of them, so the names are not. I could make you think. I could tell you a color. I don't think in names, which we all know by now. No,
so the
please
other
tell.
one
Yeah,
that came out this year is Never Say Never Again.
wait, have we seen that?
And
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's the one with Kim Basinger, and we watched it with Erica, and it had Sean Connery as older Sean Connery. It's the one that he like came back to do his last one for with the like rival production team.
Oh,
Do you remember I kind of vaguely hinted at this like a little while ago, but what happened was, Sean Connery had a falling out with the Eon franchise, and it was, over lawsuit about like the Thunderball story. Anyway, so they remade Thunderball as Never Say Never Again, which came out this year.
Okay.
So a lot of people were like, I don't know. I think it was a little bit confusing for some people.
Yeah, still is.
Like, there's 2 James. It's still. Yeah. Yes. So this Octopussy is the one that is part of the Eon franchise, the official James Bond franchise, and directed by John Glenn, who's done
Jean Glenn.
Directed other Bond movies, starring Roger Moore, of course, Maud Adams, a returning Bond girl. She's like one of the only ones who's been like an official Bond girl twice.
Wow.
And Louis Jourdan as the very charismatic villain, or there's few villains in this.
Yeah, he's
one of the villains.
The first villain guy that we meet. Yes?
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking
unless
about?
Unless you count the 2. Yeah, that is the one I'm talking about.
Oh, unless you talk about the knife boys.
With.
I feel like
exactly.
the knife
unless
twins are like...
the henchmen.
Yeah, they're
the
they
knife
aren't
twins.
Full villains. They're hench.
Yeah. Henchmen. Yeah. There's a few henchmen. But technically, I mean, even Kamal Khan is kind of a henchman for Octopussy. But, Octopussy starts as, on the villain side, but kind of has her own motivations and morphs into main Bond girl on Bond's side. So it's kind of a in-between of, is she a villain? Is she a Bond girl? She's a Bond girl villain, but good.
Yes, exactly.
Turns good.
I mean, which isn't that uncommon. There should be a better phrase for that. I don't have it.
Yeah. It is also a trope. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So, initial thoughts, Alana. What did you think about this movie?
Initial thoughts.
Oh, first, is this the first time you're seeing it?
Yes.
Okay. And you've heard, I'm sure, the term Octopussy in culture and everything, right?
Yes.
Like you knew of the name?
I knew of the name, and I knew of the silk robe.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The weird octopus drawing on it. I generally, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
There were some moments where I was like, I think in the beginning I was like, oh no, is this going to be one? Like, I enjoy all of these movies, but in the beginning I was like, is this going to be one of the ones that's like on the worse side, like on the more sexist, racist side? Because there were quite some moments. But once we got like halfway through, I was like, all right, it's not as bad. Like, it's not the worst in that way. And there's so much more fun in play that comes out, of course, because it's Roger Moore.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much more cartoon that happens that you're like, okay. So
yeah,
generally I did really enjoy it. But the beginning, I was like,
let's see where this is going. What are we getting into?
And I also watched this with my mom, so I have some of her out loud responses.
Yeah. Her reaction, Linda.
I always write them down because I'm always like, oh my god, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's really cute that you watch with her. Did you have any opinion on the theme song?
The whole entire intro theme experience, I just thought was boring. Yeah, it's like I don't remember even doing it. It happened, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. What just happened?" I went so off in my own head out of disinterest. No offense, I'm so sorry, but I'm just being honest.
Yes, I love the honesty. No, for real though, this All Time High. The name of the song is.
Oh, really? And the name of it is All Time High. It should be All Time Slow.
Yes. Totally. It's I often like the ballady kind of the slower songs, but this one just doesn't work or like do anything. It's just, like you said, kind of boring. It glaze over me.
Yeah, I feel like they just turned the volume all the way down until I was hearing nothing, and then suddenly I heard voices and I was like, the movie's back. Like, it just like faded to nothing in my head. I can't even remember what it sounds like, except clearly not high energy or fast.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. It's cruel, but
I love it. No, shit on it as much as you want. It's great.
We're gonna have hot takes today, guys.
Okay, since we always actually, I was gonna say, since we always like go long, let's dive right into the outfits.
Yeah.
But I just want to make one comparison off the top.
Okay.
Do you remember any of the fashions from Never Say Never Again? It's like the water skiing girl that dances around all crazy all the time. You know,
the water ski outfit that she skis right up and looks all great. Yeah, very cool.
Like there's that.
This
stuff.
movie came out the same friggin' day as that movie.
Not
or day.
Year,
sorry.
Year.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Okay. So just think about
like,
the 1983, right? Yeah. And the contrast of fashions that's going on.
I just feel like not only fashion, but like style, vibe, like hair, makeup, everything. This movie seems a lot more like dated and not as good. I'm so sorry. As
wait,
the other
dated,
one to
more
me.
dated.
Oh
than
yeah,
the other one.
the other one has some. The other one has like some tropey stuff. Obviously, anything close to the 70s, 80s, it's like trope city as far as the visuals. I don't think people were. I think what got popular in the 70s and 80s, like late 70s, early 80s, people were like, oh no, this is how the world's going to be from now on. So this lasts. And then funny enough, it didn't.
Of course it
the world evolved and they're like, the world wasn't going to stay looking like that. Are you kidding? And then, so I feel like when you watch things from 70s, 80s, you really get that. You get so much of what specifically shit looked like then.
Yeah. Okay.
So you definitely get that from both movies. Both movies are fully into that. But this movie, I even felt like it was a little less not literally, but just the way it was shot, less clear, less crisp, even on the story, less clear. Like the tropes were a little less clear. The cartoony moments were less clear. Like in some cases, literally they would do a really cool moment, but it was like so in the dark, and you're like, oh, cool, but okay. Yeah, it's fine. But then you watch a different movie and you're like, oh, that's how you really punch home a moment. I don't know, you know?
I agree with you on the story, because I'm always like,
definitely on the story.
What's the Russian villain?
I don't know the story. Like I could not for the life of me tell you what the storyline is for this movie.
I always forget, and I'm like, I kind of just, to me, this one's a very visual movie. Like there's a lot of costuming stuff. There's the India landscape, and
it's all about India.
Plants.
This movie's just like, listen,
really
we're gonna show people who have not had the opportunity to travel a country that they'll probably never go to, that is so dramatic and extreme, and here's what it's like. Also at a time when like there was a huge Western interest in India. Like we had been having, I mean, frankly, there were cults popping up left and right there, and not cults, and just good, nice Indian gurus, but all of that stuff was making its way to the West in the 70s and spreading enough throughout the US to not just be in like San Francisco by late 70s, early 80s. So like this was a time when people were like, India, please tell me what's up, what's going on.
Interested. Yeah, for sure.
I guess the way I feel about this, to try to separate this again from that other one, is this Octopussy felt like, I'm just going to say it. It felt like an older person made it who was not like conscious and up to speed. And so like it felt older versus the other movie. It felt like it was more current and what current consciousness was thinking and understanding and looking into. Okay. Like this one felt like it's someone who grew up, someone who was just older. Like even in the movie, the fact that it's about Russia and all these things where I'm like, those are old tropes. Like we're in the 80s already. Like you're still gonna make the villain just be Russia, like weirdly in the air.
Hear you. But it was definitely the height of the Cold War. Like they went to Germany to film some of this, and so it was still very present. So I do agree that it feels older. The villain in the other one was Max. Max something.
What is his like affiliation?
No, I don't know. Like German. I think he's German.
So maybe it's just
like not something.
Maybe less literally and more just in feeling, in the way things were expressed.
But for sure, I agree with you. I mean, the other one, this does feel like, that's a great observation. It does feel like an older person made it, and I don't know if that's conscious, like wanting it to feel old world. Because
I don't think so. Like, it definitely didn't. Yeah. I don't think that's really an appealing thing that people want to make.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, maybe it was then, but I doubt it.
So maybe I think I understand what you mean by dated, but when I say dated, I mean the other movie looks so much more stuck in the 80s. Like it looks.
I don't agree.
From the fashion and everything.
I think we have a different perspective on that.
Okay. I'm thinking like Kim Basinger's like candy cane arm, like evening gown with like the updos.
Very true.
There's moments.
Why? Because like those style choices and things, whatever, those look very mid 80s to me. Versus the stuff in this movie looks very late 70s. I just feel like, I guess that's how I put this.
I agree with
most
you
of
on
the silhouettes and everything in this are still very 70s. If I had to guess when this movie was made, in fact, when I first watch each of these movies for the podcast, I look up the year so that I have context as like while I'm watching, cultural context and style context. But usually it'll be like after the intro, I remember and I'm like, oh yeah, let me look up the year. And so I always have a moment in the beginning where I'm just guessing, I'm assuming what year it is. And in this one, I was like, yeah, late 70s. I even said it out loud to my mom. And then I was like, hold on, let me look up the year. And I was like, oh, 83. Just kidding. I meant 83. And I feel like that's really accurate to the way it feels.
I agree. It does feel more 70s. But I think, like, I was just defining feeling dated as like
I hear you.
Something of the time. Yeah. But
that's great.
It's very much of its time.
Totally. We just have different views on it, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
It's just more rare lately. Lately, we're agreeing on too much. Let's get some opposition.
Yeah. So this movie starts with a great costume moment, by the way, where
he strips
like
his
right off the
stuffs.
Bat. Yeah. His costume change thing, where he's like a horse maintenance person. Horse, what do you call caretaker? A horse caretaker guy wearing like at the yellow turtleneck, and it's just a dickie, and he rips it off, and then it's like a military jacket instead. I love that.
When he first comes on screen, because especially movies in this era, I'm always like, ooh, I better look carefully because I might not like many of these looks. So I was like, really? Eyes were peeled, and he comes out wearing that, and I was like, oh, I do like this look. And the second I said it, he rips it off, and I was like, oh, okay. All right.
No, never mind. Yeah, exactly. So that is, so I love those fashion reversible fashions.
Yeah.
What do you call
fashion
like,
gadgets
had
is how we were categorizing.
Yeah, it is a fashion gadget. Yeah, the disguises and stuff that turn inside out into something completely different. Love that. But I did not pick this outfit. So let's get into.
I think you should go first because mine are not in the beginning. Yes.
Okay. I mean, mine is also not quite in the beginning, but
mine are very not in the beginning.
Okay. So my first one is Kamal Khan. When you first meet him at not the casino, but
which one's Kamal Khan?
Backgammon. The main guy villain.
Okay. Oh my God. I'm so.
What?
If this is what I think it is, I'm so glad you picked it. Please continue.
Oh yes, it's the black jacket, like Indian style jacket that's just buttoned at the collar. Yeah,
they're playing.
Right?
Yeah, they're playing a
backgammon.
Wait, backgammon?
I
thought backgammon. I'm mixing backgammon up with
badminton.
Badminton. That was gonna be like the tennis like one. I don't know about gambling. I have very little interest in gambling. Yeah. I'm so sorry. Sure. Yeah.
I don't play this at all either. I only vaguely am familiar because Ricky's mom plays and she's very good.
People are
screaming. It's the one with the dice
at the audio right now. Just like
I totally mix those up too. Backgammon, badminton. They're two things I don't play, and they kind of sound similar. Yeah.
Bat fight. Did you ever see that video Bat Fight with Will Ferrell? Anyway, everybody should Google Bat Fight Will Ferrell. It's a YouTube video. It's a beautiful song. You're gonna enjoy it. Yeah,
amazing. So yes, this is the first time you're seeing him. Wait, is it the first time you're seeing him?
I don't know, but I love it. And it's the first time you really get to dive into him.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the first their interaction, right? It's the first time they're meeting together, and you see he's like cheating with the dice, and so he's a sneaky kind of dodgy guy.
I was so paying attention to the outfit, I couldn't even tell he was cheating. I mean, it was obvious he was cheating because he was like winning in a weird way, but I did not see.
Yeah, the outfit is great. He's got so that Indian style jacket and then a nice shirt, and then it looks like he's got a cummerbund on. So it feels like a mix. Actually, I don't know in traditional Indian garb what you wear really, but it looks to me like a little mix. Like the way that this jacket was buttoned and everything, it wasn't fully closed, and the stuff he was wearing underneath, he looked great. Like yeah, I love it.
This is the first time ever that some kind of fashion thing came on the screen and my mom labeled it for me. Like she knew the name of this and I have never even heard this name. She goes, "Oh, a Nehru jacket." And I was like, "I'm sorry."
"Oh, yes."
"What?" And then she goes, "Yeah, it's named." Yes, I think she knew. Cute. She didn't know because of the fashion. She knew because it's named after some Indian man. I don't even remember. Maybe it was like a prime minister or something. But she went off to talk about that for a second. I was like, "Oh, all right, sure, cool."
Yeah, so it's interesting. The Nehru jacket has some sort of symbolism in the Bond franchise, I feel, because it's funny
because they do wear them
always
a lot.
Put it on a lot, and it's often
villains.
On the villain.
Yeah,
exactly. But it all started, I think, with Dr. No from like the very beginning. Like he has that high collar style jacket. But yeah, and they bring it back often. But this version of it is my favorite. He looks great.
Me too. It's
love it.
Crisp in the right ways, and it's like a silky material. Like it really looks like from India.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's silk, but like silk-esque. There's a shimmer to it. There's a shine to it.
They love to use silk. Yeah. They love silk in their textiles.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's my first pick.
Gorgeous. I'm so glad I didn't put that on my list because I struggled on what to pick.
I know, we always, every time, we're like, this is so hard.
It's so stupid because it's so silly, but
I know.
Decisions. I was thinking about this in the shower. I was like, it feels like this decision has to live with me for the rest of my life. But really, it's just like I could change my mind in 5 minutes and that's fine.
Yeah, I know. But we also, like, it's funny because we try to, like, give enough, you know, we want to be able to talk about all the outfits. So we're like, we
assuming
do our psychological things.
The others will do.
Who's going to pick what?
Yeah.
Anyway, what is your first outfit?
Okay, my first outfit. I still don't know this character's name. I was calling her Skelly Girl, which is probably terrible because she's just very thin. Okay, but just to point out, not everyone's that skinny, so let's not compare ourselves in that way.
She was very thin, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't really have that kind of a syndrome, but I know it really affects people to see that in media and to be like, how can I be that thin? No. Let's. Okay, so passing all this drama, my first choice. It was a rough choice because what I found for this movie was the outfits. A lot of outfits I really liked. I wanted to find pictures of. I couldn't find pictures of, but a lot of the outfits I could find a lot of pictures of. How am I so like saying this wrong? I could find a lot of pictures of some outfits that were barely on screen, and I could find very few pictures of some outfits that were on screen a lot, is what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
gotcha. There, I got it out. It's like a little backwards. And there were some looks where I was like, oh, that's barely on screen, so maybe I shouldn't pick it. But there were so many images online of it, and I was like, and I do love that look. So this is one of those. So it's Magda. Magda?
Yeah.
Magda. It's Magda wearing her like army outfit suit looking thing when she's getting onto the circus train.
Okay, wait, hold on.
I sent a couple pictures.
We're talking about Magda, the long blonde hair lady.
It's the one who has the most fluffy, biggest hair and is very thin.
Like, not Octopussy.
No.
The other main girl. Yeah, okay.
Correct.
Magda. Okay, so are you saying, is it like the hat where she has the hat
She has a little like, I don't know. How do you describe that kind of hat? Is there a name? There's got to be a name for that kind of hat.
Is it that one? The one with the hat?
Yes.
I just don't know which outfit. Okay, yeah. Cute. Oh my God, I almost put this on my list, but again, it was like so quick.
I feel like it's got to be a deleted scene because there were so many images around that outfit that I found that were like, I don't remember her being near that set at all with that outfit. Like just so many. There was her like sitting eating something on a train car, and I'm like, this doesn't look like something she was just doing on the side. Like this was probably a scene in the movie that got cut.
Yeah. Okay, cute. I love it. Yeah, so it has the little fur hat that's like
it's fur?
Oh, I thought it was furry. Is it not furry? Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's just like a felty thing.
I think it's just like a thick knit.
We are so perplexed.
Like a heavy, dense knit. Okay, we'll start from the top then. She's wearing she's wearing like a long sleeve turtleneck with like a little puffier of sleeves, very of the time. But the turtleneck is like sleek and tight to her neck, and it's knit the whole thing, the whole top, and it's like a kind of khaki off-white looking color, and it just looks sleek and nice, which I think is rare for her in this film, in my opinion. And she's wearing, it's pants, I believe, right? Like a darker, like army green khaki pant. And she has a thick old belt with a little bit of hardware on it, like right at her waistline. And her hair is pulled down in a side braid. And she has this like, I don't know how do you call those kinds of hats? It's like, it's a certain type of army type of hat, right. But I don't know the name.
I don't know, but you're making me want to grab my fashion dictionary to look this up while we talk.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to, go ahead. Do you want to pause a second and go grab
outfit.
It? Oh, okay.
Oh, I can reach behind me.
Oh, okay.
I love this outfit though. Let me see. Did I put it on my list? I think I just kept it as an honorable mention because I was like, it's one of those quick ones. But I'm so happy you picked it so we can talk about it.
Yes, I love it. The second I saw it on screen, I was like, oh, what's that? And I was just sitting there with my phone at the TV screen hoping I could capture a picture of it. She barely ever comes back in it.
Yeah, exactly. I just love how much of a contrast. I think this is kind of what you were getting at too, right?
Indeed.
It's a contrast to everything else she wears. So it really and also what everyone else is wearing. So it's really just sleek and simple and stands out.
I mean, it really doesn't make sense. I don't think it even fits her character. Like, wrong. Right. But it's cute as shit. So
yeah.
So it's right.
I know. It is cute. It is cute.
I mean, the belt is, there are little elements. Like, she wears a lot of like really thick, like at the waist belts. Okay. There are some things that are her about it, but you know.
Yeah. That's pretty 80s, right? I feel like
I mean, it's all of the time. I just mean like character wise, it's like, I think it's out of character. Unless there's like some scene that made it appropriate. Like she suddenly needed to be leading a troop of some sort. Okay, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so I like that. She's wearing a lot of gold jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you found the hat name?
No. Oh, no. I don't think it's quite this. Yeah. I was gonna say.
Well, this is definitely a bigger, more knit version of whatever.
Yeah, like a little bit stylized version of. So if it's like a similar to that military style, they're called kind of an envelope hat. But that I think is more like the.
I think that's the basis.
1940s style.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's what I think it is, because it has the same folds in the middle and at the top. And all that, and it sits the same way where it's like kind of sideways on the head. Yeah, but it's like it's very 80s in that it looks like it's like you're 5 years old and it's your dad's. Like the size of it is way too big for you. That's very 80s.
Yeah, that's true. Emphasis.
Yeah, the 80s looks like a 5-year-old raided their parents' closet, which is
you're
really
not wrong.
They're at least the mid and late 80s. Now the beginning of the 80s too, which is really interesting, I think, for people in our age range, because that's literally what it felt like to be alive at that time. Like we would literally go into our parents' closets and they would be that big and oversized or whatever, and that was like how it was meant to be. I don't know. I feel like I've thought this for a long time and never had an opportunity to talk about it, but I think it's so interesting to have been a millennial in that age range where that's what the style was, and that's what our perspective was. Like the 80s style was like play, whatever, like basically like get into a childlike mindset and go into your parents' closet plus more and more color is what the 80s style was. And that's literally what we were doing. So it was kind of catered to us. Like no wonder millennials think they rule the world. Just kidding.
Yes, and the fashions reflect that.
I mean, it was fashion's fault. Fashion made us think we were the center of the universe.
Exactly. Okay,
your dose.
So it's my turn, right? Yeah, my second one. Okay, so I don't remember which one. Actually, this might come earlier than the one that I already said chronologically. Okay. But it's Magda's white dress when she's like gets to the dock and is leaving the boat, and it has a red waist belt. Oh my God. I almost chose this and I was back and forth between one other thing. So I'm letting you have it. I'm going to do my other. Yes. This look is another one that's on screen for so short. But when you look at the pictures, you're like, so short.
In a good way.
Yeah, cute, right? Yeah. I love it. Yes, really emphasis on that tiny, tiny waist though here. Like you were saying, like really waist cinchy. But I like that waist cinch type
16-inch waist. She's so, when you see her turns, because like waist from the front when it goes in, when it's very small, is like cute, cool. But then you see her turn from the side and you're like, oh my God, there's no girth in there though. Oh my gosh,
right.
Tiny.
I know. Yeah. So to describe the dress, it's a V-neck tank dress with a sensible plunge V. It's not like a crazy V.
It's got buttons. It's got like tiny like bride style buttons. So it could have been a deeper V, but they have that part buttoned, which I think I like. I do like.
I do too. And the belt is like a red suede, I think.
It looks like it.
With some stitching. Yeah. And I
tassels.
love the belt. And the tassels. Yes. So cute. And I originally, I started watching the movie and I was like, oh, that white dress from the first girl in the cold open.
There's so many like Lucy white dresses where like boobs are almost going to fall out with a belt.
Right. Yeah.
That's like the theme of this movie.
So I had that one on first, also because I liked like the sexier plunge rap style of the first girl.
I had it there and I was like, Elma's picking this, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, but then I saw this one and it had the tassels on the belt. I was like, okay, this one beats the other one. So
I think it's just a prettier dress too. Frankly, the other one feels very like toga party. Like it's like, is that just like a pillowcase and you cut a head open?
Yeah, exactly.
And also
I agree.
her like whole boob is exposed. I know there's that. I think it's also the 80s, that one movie where we have a Bond girl in the shower and you just see fully her tits showering.
77, almost 80s.
Okay, almost. See, that movie feels more 80s than this movie to me, but yeah, copy. I just think the what do you call it? The people that make the ratings were just like, it's fine. Make them nude. People will still go see it. Chill, no problem.
Yep.
And this belt also has, the belt in this outfit we're talking about, the red suede, also has like a bit of like a wrestler vibe because it kind of does that diamond shape in the middle where it's like points up and points down in the middle.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
And it's thick. Yeah. It's like what, 5 inches.
Yeah.
Long in the center. Very cool. Yeah. And it has a little design in that center too, like a little like it looks like a maze, but I think it's just lines, but it looks cool.
It's very cute. That's funny you bring up the wrestler thing. Okay, so I want to tell you a couple little details about her. So that she was a Swedish actress, Christina Weiborn, and I learned from watching the behind the scenes documentary that she was the arm wrestling champ of Europe in the lightweight category.
I'm sorry. What? So maybe I'm wrong about the thin thing. She's just very svelte.
I mean, so
wary.
She is very wary. Yes, wary, very much so. So she is athletic by name. She is very athletic, and they even in some of the stunt scenes where, first of all, that Sari stunt where she unravels herself, she did that, and then.
Epic.
And then later towards the end when they're like fighting all the bad guys in like the plot, like a courtyard, I think her punches were like too hard that like it sent some stunt guys to the infirmary, they said. So she had to I think they had to replace her for those stunt scenes, or she just had to chill out or something. But yeah, she's quite strong.
Cool. I feel like there are a few moments in there. She felt like a lizard person to me a few times. And by that I mean that's just like my weird shorthand. You know what I mean? Because and to me, usually in an older movie when someone feels that way, it's because they're foreign and they haven't quite, maybe they're speaking English with like still a bit of a weird accent, but not enough of an accent, or maybe their mannerisms are still more of their country. Because in older movies, like currently, we have a pretty fairly universal mannerisms because of widespread media, television, movies. Like we all have like our basic mannerisms around the globe are fairly similar. It's hard to find something that's really strange and then it feels like, oh my God, it's so strange. But when you look at older things, different cultures have had different ways of doing everything, like different ways of moving your body physically that mean different things culturally to a much of an extreme than we've ever experienced in our actual lives. And I think usually it's an example of that. When someone feels kind of like a lizard person in an old movie, it's usually because they're foreign and they just have they're like a little different in they're not fully quote unquote American or Western, British, whichever in their mannerisms. And I feel like that is the culprit for her. And there was a voiceover at one point, and it was clearly a loud space, so of course they had to voice over. But it also sounded like a totally different voice to me. So I feel like they may have even dubbed her for part of this.
Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they dubbed like full act, the whole dialogues of lots of people earlier on in the
Which
movie,
is so confusing. Yeah. Like, are there not actors who you don't have to dub?
That's the thing. It's so funny because they really choose by like what
100% by
part,
looks. They have one photo and that's how they choose.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and then we have a great voice actor named Nikki Vandersel who can like do every single voice of if they're Asian or Russian or like everyone. So yeah, that's how they operated back then.
I honestly wonder if there were just that fewer of like good actors Because clearly, like, everyone wants to be on camera today. Like, being famous is the goal for most humans. So there are a lot of people good at that. But
that is a mystery, because I feel like maybe it was just harder to, I mean, maybe there were just less good actors, but
there
like,
definitely were less, but like how much less? Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. Like, but yeah, or they were just like, it was, you know, just so in the, well, not really the Wild West of filmmaking. This is the 80s, but like it was still early enough that they're like, it'll work, anything goes.
They were just in their way of doing it, I guess. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know.
Should I say
her white dress and Christina Wayborn?
Gorgeous. Yeah. Love the white dress.
You're number 2.
My next one is her pink her pink Indian outfit.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh my God, that needs to be the title. Okay, rarely while we're recording do I realize a title. That's it. Sorry, not sorry. How do you spell sorry? I spell it Saari. I have noticed that there are multiple ways on the internet.
Yeah, I think there's multiple ways.
When I was in India, this is how we spelt it. But I feel like even in India, they probably... But you know India, they probably spell it 17 ways in India too. And you're just like, cool. with one alphabet? How? Great. Anyway, that's my next look. It's the pink one. I especially chose it. I love Indian, like, everything. I'm
you spent time there.
A lot. Well, there's some parts I don't like, obviously. It can be confusing and frustrating, but it teaches you so much. So at the same time, I love that. I don't know. I love India. I just love India, love India. Love Indian culture, love Indian clothing and textiles, like classic, beautiful textiles. Stuff. So good. So I had to pick something like this, and I chose this one also because there's so many cool, like, kind of hybrid Indian but Western outfits in this because of the whole girl gang.
Hybrid.
Yeah, but she has such great utility in this. I love that the skirt is this. I love the skirts that are like big, huge, flowy, covered in sparkles and things. Because for dancing, oh my God, they're gorgeous. I love a crop top. We both know this. And I love that she just rips off the skirt and it's utility. And then she's fighting in it. I'm like, this makes me pick this outfit.
So cute. You're talking about the hot pink one, right?
Yes.
Like it's beautiful. Yeah, it was used in a bunch of promo pics. I feel like that was one of the more iconic outfits from this movie.
Oh, I love it. And I love that there's like a whole jeweled thing. So she takes the skirt off and she's just wearing like basically briefs that match her sari style top. What do you call it? Is it a sari top? I always called it a sari top, but I don't know because the sari is the fabric, the like other part, the
wrap fabric.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna call it a sari top for this episode. She takes off the skirt and she has like a pair of briefs on that's matching the sari top, but she still has this like whole bejeweled, like covering her whole butt belty thing on that's also like in the front, in the back, like with just every detail and flourish, like, okay, crystals everywhere.
I know. Yeah.
I love it.
I love it too. Yeah. Beautiful choice. I would pick it if I was into hot pink as much as you, but just for that, leave it for me. Yeah, for that reason, I actually went with a different sari she wore, or sorry, not sorry. This one I think is a sari though. Yes. For my third look.
Is this the pink?
It's the one
balcony sari?
Yep.
Yeah. Balcony sari?
Balcony sari because of how she uses it.
That freaking move. I know.
It's incredible, and I love that. And what a great use of your clothing.
Just the coolest.
I mean, it's very cool.
It really reminded me of that
situation.
Yes, it really reminded me of that Mr. and Mrs. Smith moment that we loved, where Mrs. Smith escapes in the corset thing with her coat and just like floats down. And there are a few other moments where a dress helps someone escape. I feel like they're in Bond movies, but I have to exercise my brain a little.
Actually, the hot pink one that you just chose, when she rips it off, she like whacks a guy with it too, and I love that. Like she uses it as like fighting tool. Yeah,
'tis a weapon.
Very.
I also love the lady who's next to her. Yeah, totally. I love one of the ladies who's next to her, who's just getting attention on her cleavage, like, you know, doing whatever, shaking her boobs, moving her like her little piece of fabric scarfy thing around. And
I remember.
It's a close up, just like titty, 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 and then she's like, "Ka!" and kills him. Like, look at them titties while I murder you with my arms.
Yes. Oh my God.
Score.
Her boobies are so big.
Yeah, and also those moments are just, I have to say, because there is more misogyny, in some cases an insane amount of misogyny in these older movies, those moments are like, I cannot express the satisfaction. They're just like,
I know.
I just want to like Hulk out when I see those things happen. I just, the joy that
Hulk
sparks
out.
in me is just like, sparks joy.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it much.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I can't wait till we do our Girl Gangs episode. Ooh, secret. We might do a Girl Gangs episode.
This is such a girl gang.
This Girl Gang is goals. Girl Gang goals. That'll be the name.
Yes. Do you have any thoughts on my pick, the balcony dress, other than balcony
I
move?
have some that maybe I'll keep for later, but I love the
Gotcha. And I actually also, she wears it there. She was wearing it at dinner, right, with Bond. And I think this is the one where she has like orchids in her hair, or there's something about orchids.
Yeah, she wears it twice. I feel like those are two separate times, because I think we see her in underwear in between them, like she's changing in her room at some point. But maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, that could be. Yeah, I get so mixed up chronologically with this movie.
Oh,
all the time
I feel like they did too.
Multiple lines.
I feel like they re-edited it a little, because nobody does that in a Bond movie. You don't repeat an outfit like that after someone gets out of it. Like, no. I feel like I just honestly think
probably right.
This movie is a very like different than they probably started wanting it to be. We'll see. It's all on the cutting room floor. Maybe I'm wrong.
It is.
Maybe I'm wrong.
We might never know. Yeah.
Okay, so that was your third.
Number 3.
My numero tres is gonna be, I'm sticking to a theme. It's so funny because there's so many outfits I think people would guess that I would choose, which are on my list, but they just didn't make the top. I'm so sorry.
I know. We only have
AKA,
4.
I know.
Remember, we're doing 4 outfits.
None of the safari looks made my top, even though I'm such a safari girl. Like, sorry safari. Okay, maybe that's it. Sorry. Okay. So my next look choice is the other the like black bikini warrior things.
Yes.
This is so obsessed.
This is my last choice.
I'm desperately obsessed with this and these girls. I'm like, Elma, I need it.
Me too.
How do we create that? And how I don't know if you remember, in 2020 I was doing a bunch of like weird random photo shoots just in isolation, trying to like keep my creative juices going. And for May the 1st, I shot a like made up Jedi character, just, you know, based on clothes I had that I felt like looked like a cool Jedi character. That. And I used a top that you made for me for a music video.
I know.
A couple of years ago. That was so cool, like leather, and it has like a neck strap, and just looks so cool. And of course, I like things that are sexy. I just do. It's not about the guys. It's not about the male gaze. It just feels fucking good. No. I'm a body girl. I like that sexy stuff. It's empowering to me. Use your female wiles. Girl. Yeah. So of course it was a sexy outfit with that same top you had made for me. And these fighter girls in this movie reminded me of that cosplay. I was like, yeah, that's the vibe. Like, I had even a scarf over my head in mine, and they have for a while scarves over their head. I was just like, oh, that's what I was trying to get at when I made this. That's like a slightly less clothing version of what I was trying to get at with my Jedi look. But man, I love it.
I love it. Okay, so this is my last outfit also.
Yeah. Tell me your vibes.
I love actually the head accessory with the outfit is great. They got like these gladiator sandal type things on. Well, they're like boots, I guess, but it looks like it has strappy
they
stuff
look like
around it, like gladiator style.
They look like the kind of boots that are like actually from the olden times, where it's just like a fabric around your foot and pulled up, and then you have a strap going like Greek style all the way up, keeping it tight. Like, it literally looks like caveman style boots. which is not very utility for what they're doing, but okay, it's acceptable. Modern version would be different.
Hey,
that's fine.
I think it works. They're flat boots and they
at least they're flats.
look flexible, like doing all their acrobatic things. Yes, and they have these like little these belts with the gun holsters on it and like a little thigh strap that attaches to hold it on so it's not flapping around.
And like a big old, like a chunky belt buckle that's like a brassy gold. All the accents are a brassy gold.
I love
it. The top is just
cute.
Pretty basic. It's like triangle, but not a halter triangle, just like, straight to the back straps, like a bra style triangle shape. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, this is it's about the full look, like all the accessories and the pieces put together.
Yes,
I feel like.
And they have those arm cuffs, the little wristies.
Yes, I was just going to say.
Okay, well, we gotta say, cute. Oh my God, they're so cute.
I know. Yeah. And let's shout out the costume designer.
Oh yeah,
it's Emma Portios,
a girl
who also worked on the few other Bond movies, which was I am looking right now.
I'm so glad they had a woman. This movie needed a woman costume designer.
Oh, for
with
sure.
All the girls in it.
Huge female cast,
and I feel like successful.
Ensemble. Yeah, exactly. So Emma Portios also did A View to a Kill, which we had
incredible
lot to say.
Costumes.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome and very weird also. Yeah. The Living Daylights, which I don't think you saw yet.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. Cool. Interesting. And then some movies in between that she did were like Jewel of the Nile, like a bunch of 80s movies,
Yeah.
Supergirl.
Is Supergirl a movie? Never heard of that.
Yes, apparently. I
okay.
Also Robin Hood from 1991. Anyway, and some other random.
She really has a vibe. Like they know the vibe that they should pick her for, and they are. Like that's all very like just the strappy sandals we just discussed, not sandals, the strappy boots we just discussed. Like I feel like those could be in Robin Hood so easily.
Totally.
Like those could really okay, she's got a vibe. And I what I think I see in her look is like short, very short on general, not too body tight, like maybe with a belt or something, but like generally a bit looser fit thing, but like super short, high boots. Like how she did with that Mayday look you love. I feel like she has that kind of silhouette a lot. That's her like vibe a little.
Like more movable.
Definitely more movable.
Something, yeah.
We get a good amount of flats. Amen.
Yeah, very true. Good amount of flats. We love flats. Come on. They can't always fight in high heels like Paloma.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I mean, sometimes in a way
we appreciate
that's like, wow,
when they do.
You can really do that.
We
That's
appreciate
cool.
flats.
Yeah. It shouldn't be the norm or else it's not special anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that was my last look.
That was your 5. Okay.
So you tell me what. Or 4. Yeah.
My 4. My 4 is a shocker. Okay.
Oh, okay.
My 4 is Bond wears this look in the I think it's the very end. I think it comes after the fight. It's like a white collared shirt, and on top of it looked like it was navy blue to me, jacket and pants, but it could have been black. It was really dark colored. And that's when he like climbs on the airplane. He's like chasing after them on a horse. Like he goes through so many different things he's doing. I sent you a picture. It's that look. I really like that. Yes. To be honest, I rarely like things that Roger Moore wears. And I thought that was nice.
Me too, but this is nice.
It's nice. And it was really similar to something I think I've chosen looks like that in a lot of James Bond movies. Like very occasionally he wears that type of color and silhouette and pairing. And I always love it. I guess it's just an Alana thing. What is that? What kind of coat is happy.
that? That's a question for David Zaritsky, I feel like.
Yeah, maybe. It's like almost a bomber jacket, but like not so puffy tight. Like if it was straight up a bomber jacket, I wouldn't have picked it. And I like that his collar's like unbuttoned, like kind of looser. It's the end of the movie. He's chilling out a little. Yes. I think it's a navy blue. And so it's like slacks of some sort that just kind of like blend in, whatever. And kind of like a loose bomber. Yeah, kind of look. So it just has the collar that goes around the back. It doesn't have like any kind of tuxedo flaps or anything like that. It's
the
tight
lapels
at the wrist
or anything. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Very basic, clean, simple. And it's not an 80s, I know it's not an 80s bomber because it isn't so puffy and the waist isn't a little too high. Like the waist actually goes to like a man's waist length, like where men wear pants today.
Yes. I am so happy you picked a Roger Moore outfit because I was like, damn, I usually like to include, well, I included one men's look, but like a Bond look, you know? And I just, like you were saying, for most of what Roger Moore wears in his Bond movies, don't like.
Yeah.
I think it was just the era thing, though.
They're just so
very
cartoony.
Much.
It's like, ugh.
Yeah. And like the fit of the suits of that time aren't great. I mean, they're tailored well to him, but like bell-bottomy or like just a fit that less desirable for me. But this is a great timeless looking outfit, the one you picked. I think he looks great. And he looks like in action. Like he looks like he's, you know, like ready to get shit done. Yeah.
Yeah.
So should we talk about our keeps and kills?
Our creeps and our krills. Okay, do you want to do your keep first?
Creeps and our krills. Do I want to do my keep first?
Oh.
I really want to do my kill first.
Okay, let's do kills first.
That's way more
kills keeps.
Strong. Okay, let's do kills and keeps. I'm gonna kill the Mishka and Grishka outfit.
Really?
The knife boys, the twin knife, the one that James Bond wears.
That's on my list. I have 5 things on my kill list.
Okay. I mean, I can keep going too.
Well, I was going to say his if I did that, but it's not the one I landed on. So I'm glad you. I don't think it needs to be killed for them. I just think it needs to be killed for him. But no, you know.
Yes,
cool.
that's what I'm saying. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I agree.
Great. Great.
It's the James Bond version of that.
He just like. If you Google James Bond and you see images of James Bond and then eventually you land on this one and him in this outfit, you're like, what the hell happened here?
Exactly, because they use it in promo shots where like he's the
everywhere.
Center of all these ladies.
He
like,
wears it for so long too. Yeah.
I know. It's so bad. Okay. Tell me one of your kills.
My kill is on a similar note. I'm killing it because of the use of it in the film is a missed opportunity.
Good reason.
I'm so sorry. I'm killing your like light pink Sari look. Just because
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Okay.
I love the utility of it so much, and it has a lot of screen time, but I feel like it's such a bland, boring color. We're in India. Like they probably had to put work in to even make such a boring looking Sari. Like in my opinion, an ugly looking Sari.
I know what you mean. Yes.
Like give us
I
an
like
India.
the color. Okay. Yes, okay. I like the color because of it's that like blush mauve, like that subtle. You know, I love that kind of pink. It's so funny because you picked the one that represents you. I know you picked like the hot pink. That's like
of course
very
I picked
you,
the hot
and
pink
I picked
and I'm cutting your.
The
Oh
subtle.
my god, dude! We need to Photoshop our
like
faces onto
very
her.
representative.
Yes, in those 2 outfits, please. Yes. Oh my god, if anybody can Photoshop, if you send those. We'll shout you out on the next episode.
Elma,
I don't know what else to say. Please.
Elma in the light pink sari, the balcony sari, and then Alana in the hot pink jeweled sari.
Please, can it be while she's fighting? I needed her to be kicking. Can we do a deep fake and actually make the visual scenes like the video, and you can climb down the balcony in that, and I can do all the kicks and
yes, that's my dream to do that. Yes,
I mean it's my dream to do both of those, but. Outfit wise,
same. Yeah. Okay, great. I love your reasonings.
It's because it features sense. So hard. Like it's such an incredible thing.
Does.
I wouldn't have cut it if it was just as it was, but I just feel like it's so great that it not being so great is not great. You know, sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. But you know, if you think, and I never thought about this before, but like it doesn't have the embellishments and stuff that like
it doesn't have any of that.
Do.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that.
I was going to say maybe it had to be because she has to unravel.
Well, yeah, that's very true.
The balcony.
I just feel like
so maybe there's practical.
Yeah, in my experience, like saris are about the color is as important as anything. Like
for sure,
especially if you think about historically, like we didn't have color in clothes for so long, and in the West they still started slowly adapting color and like bringing it in little places in little ways. And one of the magical things about India, like if anything stands out about India, actually when I was in India I did a documentary with like 20 other filmmakers and photographers, and we to think of the name of the documentary, we were brainstorming, what does India feel like? And like constantly just color. The word color came up so often. Like India, even now when the world is so much more colorful, color is still such a standout. Like you can imagine in the late 70s, early 80s, color really being so synonymous with India. And I think really India was wearing colors in that way, and even people who had less money could wear more colors comparatively way sooner than we ever did. So I feel like color is really significant. Like you can go to India and see a family that makes very little money walking down the street, and the mom will be in bright pink or bright yellow, bright red. Like color is still so prominent. So I feel like the fact that the saris are kind of about, you have this shape and it's a bright color. And so
it's about the textile, the color.
Yeah. And then my other thought is like,
fabric.
They have her wearing this at night when you really need something you can't really see it very well. So you would ideally, this outfit would be something that's either like a really bright white so it stands out, or like a color, something, even if it's just a jewel tone that's not, I don't mean to say like if it's not in her character to wear a bright color, maybe not a bright color, but like make a statement, choose a color, like anyway, that's how I felt about it. I feel like it was pulling the India in. Yeah. We needed more India. That's all. That's all.
Oh, no, I makes sense. Did you catch the little coat? Not little, is like a full length coat that he puts over her after she's unraveled her sari down the balcony?
I just thought it was like a sheet, like a fabric.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a bit of fabric.
Yeah, but it was very sparkly and like
was
patterned. I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, what was that? Like, I wish this was the first time I really like looked at it. I wish there was a little bit more, maybe like a inside the car moment where you could see a detail or something. But yes, textile is very important, and yeah, the color is a huge part. And Holi, it's the festival of color. Like they celebrate color. How cool is that? By the way,
tying it into today. Those were our kills. Oh, I was just gonna kill her hair. I just think there are a lot of outfits I don't like, but her hair is the worst. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and she has gorgeous long hair. Like when it's just natural and flowy, it's beautiful.
It looks like a weird skeleton's wig of straw to me. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Okay. The other one that I want to kill, and it's funny because there's a red jumpsuit that Octopussy wears in this movie that I love so much, and if I try to search it, the only red jumpsuit that comes up is the unitard. The red unitard, the spandex, and I hate it so much. And it's that really is another kill
shock.
For me.
It's really like it just is confusing. It is. I don't understand.
It just doesn't belong in India or in this setting or anything.
Yeah, my thought process is now, having seen it, my thought process is, well, they do have this trope of always having the kind of minions to the villain are in like a red, matching. Like we said, they're always in McDonald's, like red or yellow jumpsuits. Oh, yeah. So I was like, well, so maybe this is their version of doing the red jumpsuits in that way, but they want to do it on a sexy girl, so it's like spandex. It doesn't excuse it. It doesn't make it okay.
It's like baggy spandex too in like certain areas.
To be fair,
that could be an 80s fit.
Yeah, when we were watching it, my mom said something like, oh, the start of spandex, like, or something like that. This referencing like this is the birth of spandex just was barely born at this point. So I think it's more of like,
sure, yeah,
there wasn't really tailoring spandex well yet as a thing. So
they didn't figure it out.
I would say it's due to it's like having the bikinis we see in the 60s are like diapers. I think, well, it's just what they could do at the time. Same with this spandex being like diaper spandex. Well, it's what they could do at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
But the first thing I said when I saw them is I go, oh, it's thing 1 and thing 2. I thought that was a great joke.
Cute. Yeah. That's perfect. Okay, do you have any more you want to kill?
Well, is there more that
kills?
No, I mean, I could talk for another hour, so I don't want to do that.
No.
So no, I'd rather talk about
those are the main ones. Those are the main ones for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So for my keep, I think I'm gonna have to go with that black bikini outfit with
that's my keep.
The boots. Yay! I loved it. So I originally thought maybe I'll leave Magda's turtleneck outfit off my list and then make it as a keep. But if I think about like it's very kind of basic. Yeah. If I want to add something interesting to my closet, I think I'd rather take the black, the top, the bikini, and then the boots with the cuff accessories.
Love.
Yeah, all of it. Cute.
I was gonna do that or the pink sari. Hot pink.
I could totally see the pink sari in your closet.
Dude, there's yeah. I already have a mesh hot pink skirt that's long to the floor. Like it looks so I could probably cosplay
cute.
that, but I couldn't.
Cute.
I would have to do the part where the skirt's on, and I would need a lot of jewels to pin on that boy.
Yeah.
Wow,
Great.
same
Okay.
keep.
Cute.
Okay, do you have anything
in line with our keeps?
Do you have anything that you just have to mention clothing wise?
No, clothing wise. Like maybe the clown suit.
I feel like there are so many of those. I was just skipping past all of them. I was like, there are like 7 things that are just like, okay, shake my head and move forward.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, there we go. We
long
shook our
movie
head, move
full
forward.
of those moments. We could do a part 2 about just focusing on Bond in this movie, and that could be part 2 and 3. There's a lot there.
Okay, tell me one of your things.
So one outfit I really liked that I really wanted to pick, but we have this kind of unspoken rule that if you can't find any images of it, or you can't take a good clear image of it while you're watching the film, like if it's that quick or in motion of an outfit, then it just shouldn't be picked. Because it's hard to really look into it and analyze it. So I didn't pick it because of that, but there's this one outfit that I thought had potential to be so cool. It's Octopussy is wearing it in the circus. It's when the bomb gets disarmed, and it's like a navy blue silky, I think it's a dress with high slits on the sides, but it's not fitted to her waist. She has like a little like fabric-y tied waist, but on the and it's long sleeved, and the sleeves both have like button down shirt style cuffs built in. Yeah. And the shoulders have like, it looks like a leather stitched on, kind of the way Western shirts look, like that little patterny thing on Western shirts, but it's like in leather stitched onto the top, and it's a V-neck. It's like a wrap, similar, almost a wrap dress, not quite. And I thought it looked so freaking cool and cute and lovely.
Very cool, yeah.
But it's just, you can barely see any of it. And
I know. I like that one too.
I'm obsessed.
I love the that's the thing. There's like these weird 80s fits things that they do with the silk and stuff that but in this movie I feel like it actually looks pretty good.
I agree.
This outfit, for example.
I'm so happy about that. Yeah, they didn't do what they normally do at that time.
Yeah. I guess.
They just kept it to the shoulders. They're like, it's fine.
Yeah. There was another silky outfit that the Magda girl wears at the auction.
I know. Oh, that's not what I thought you were going to say. Okay.
Oh, okay. So it was one that she
wore. Oh my
God,
I was going to kill that. The auction outfit with the coat on.
So I don't love it. Like I obviously didn't pick it or anything, but it looked sleek and not like over, like it didn't feel as 80s as it could have been. And I was like, oh, that's like a classier version, until she turned around, and then it was like very bunchy in the back at the, it was gathered in the back at the, there's like a peplum in the jacket or something. Strange. But I was like, oh, that's a nice use of silk with the lapels and the cuffs. Yeah,
speaking of a nice use of silk, do you see that like split second where she's wearing, it's a brown silk nightgown with lace at the bottom and top?
Okay, so I saw the pictures you sent.
She peeks out. It's one scene where she like, I know there's a scene where she's in a black negligee and we see her for a split second, but there's a scene prior to that where she's in this brown one where she just like opens the door, shuts the door. That's it. And it's so quick that I didn't even think, I was like, I'm not even thinking to put that on my list. I don't even know if I saw it clearly, but there are, of course, whenever it's underwear, there are plenty of pictures online.
Yeah. No, that's cute.
Such a nice
I couldn't remember which part that was, so I didn't pick it, but I would have if it was
featured
to
more.
Have my lingerie, to have my lingerie look in there.
And her hair actually looks good in that scene. I think it's just mostly down, little curl at the bottom. Cute. I have one more on men look, and it is a nice transition into what I want to talk about.
Tell me.
Okay, the on men that I have to on men is the Indian girl Sari. We have one kind of like close-up moment with an Indian girl. She brings him into his hotel room. I think she's like the hostess basically. And she's wearing a sari, and it's prominently this like royal purple color with gold accents in the fabric. Do you know the one I'm talking about?
No.
Look through the photographs that I sent you. Yeah. I mean, the most gorgeous thing is her makeup, her hair. She's so, I felt like, honestly, it's a more of a missed opportunity that they didn't like use her. Like, oh my God, she's, I think she's the most beautiful person in the film. Strikingly gorgeous. And that sari, it doesn't have the longer arm sleeves. Like normally it's kind of like a half sleeve tight to the arm. It's a like tank top, and the gold is just so golden everywhere. And I just felt, I loved it so much. I love that they used a lot of like India colors, that like royal purple and the gold. I just cannot get enough. And I felt, especially, it was important to mention this. I should have picked it as one of my looks. I thought about it, except the thing is, I've worn saris a few times, and if you get lucky, it's so comfortable. And if you get unlucky at how you wrap it, it's just anxiety attack, because you're constantly like, am I about to be naked any second? Like if I could catch on something, or like did I tie it wrong? And like the real answer is yes, you tied it wrong, but you're just going to hope it stays on, because there isn't, I mean, there's like technically, yes, there's a right way to do it, but with a lot of things in India, there's just like a lot of ways to do it, and it might just be weird. And it's just, I feel like India is such, of any country on this planet, is such an analogy for just living life. Embracing the yin and the yang, embracing the problems and the joy, and being able to laugh at things, take them lightly, and enjoy and play and move forward. And I don't know, I feel like this is why I love India. I feel like that India gets life, like human on this planet life, so much. If I had to pick a fucking culture that gets life most, although I haven't explored too much of African culture, so I mean, I'm not comparing it to everything on the planet, but I've done a good amount of tribal countries that have a lot of tribe history, culture experiences. Anyway, I
love it.
Yeah.
Pretty, very beautiful.
So beautiful. And I thought it's important to also mention this Indian culture. Like there's a lot in this movie. Sorry, you have something to say. Let me say yours first because I'm about to dominate.
I was just going to say, I have 2 saris and I've never put them on because you need someone to help you.
Oh, I can help. I can teach you to do it by yourself.
By the way.
No worries. You just have to embrace and know, like,
YouTube.
You just have to know, like, it's going to be it's going to feel wrong, and it's going to be not perfect probably, but it's whatever. And the more you do it, the less it makes you concerned. It's life. It's such a fucking analogy for life. Everything in India is a perfect analogy for life. I can't express. I feel like every person in their 20s should go to India and have to just be in some small mid-sized town or city, whatever, in India for like 2 weeks by themselves, or maybe with a friend who they can't really see all the time, just to like understand that, have it really bumped into your head, like, this is life, this is how life is, you got to start to embrace it. Look at me. Oh, be careful if I ever have kids. But that's kind of cool.
Exactly. So it's life. Yeah. Embrace it. It's life.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell me.
So tangented. Things. I just feel like, we talk about these Bond movies, especially the earlier ones, and I'm considering this in that because I think India was still so foreign at the time. These earlier ones that show you foreign cultures, that a lot of time it's the first time for the masses, quote unquote, the masses in the West to really experience that culture or to see so much of it. And the influence a lot of these Bond movies have because of that they carry. So I feel like it's really important that we acknowledge that in this and talk about how Indian culture was represented. There's a lot. I mean, it's a Roger Moore, so it's very cartoony, tropey. Everything is very boiled down to like a joke. So that's not wonderful for exploring cultures. So clearly there are a lot of like very visual joke moments going on that are basically poking fun with Indian culture. I don't think they're terrible. I think it's playful. It's fine because it's a style of film, but it isn't really, it did create a lot of like racist biases. So
yeah, sure.
it's not really okay, but it also is kind of okay.
Specific moments that you...
Yeah, just, you know, a lot of the stuff that you see, like a very similar version in the animated Aladdin. You see the guy laying on the spikes and the person like swallowing a sword and the guy like doing snake charming, and you see a lot of that like tropiness in that way.
Yeah.
You barely acknowledge women at all, Indian women at all. Like zero. All that kind of stuff.
Elephant riding with the hunting tigers.
Although I think that's just pretty accurate. I don't know that one was as tropey. Like, there is more access to that kind of stuff there. If you are a villain and want to go hunting, like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. As opposed to like, he goes up to the sword guy and he's like, "Let me take this out of your neck and just do this thing," and you never heard of it.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
You know, that's it. I feel like that's a little bit more. Anyway, but those are kind of like, you know, tricks that people are, tricks isn't the right word, but like performances people are doing on the street for cash for like a quick eye-catching thing. So like, okay, in that way,
like street performery stuff.
Yeah, that's why it's not the worst, but at the same time, because this movie is so full of tropes and not full of much actual culture, and because it has such a big impact, like that's kind of the bad. It's like we don't want to, if it's the style of the movie, we're not trying to cut out the tropes if there's some, you know, if it is truly playful like that in some ways. But at the same time, if you're bringing this culture, we got to acknowledge that there is some like racist biases created off of people's main impression of India being movies like this, where there isn't any representation of the actual culture, but there is representation of kind of like jokes on it.
The
stereotypes, all that.
Yep. Yeah, it would be nice if they can show both or a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're getting more conscious now. It's funny though, we're getting more conscious now, but we don't need it as much because we're not bringing people their first ever impression of India in a movie.
True. Yeah. A little bit late, but yeah. But I do want to acknowledge the Indian actors in this movie. The guy that played Gobinda as the henchman, I think is just striking. He's a striking vision, and I wish
this is the guy who's helping Bond. Which guy is this?
No, so that's VJ.
That's the guy I want to talk about.
He's also he's charismatic, and I like him. And the other guy is the henchman with the turban. He always has like a beautiful colored turban on.
And he does those stares with the zooms. Where
with the eyes. Yeah. But I was watching the interviews, the behind the scenes. He's got such a beautiful voice. I wish he spoke. He did not. Yeah.
I mean, he has a beautiful face too. He's just like,
yes.
Those like
vision,
quiet, tall henchmen who are like the third in rank henchmen. Like they're like the bodyguard henchman who's just standing there. And is not as main of a character in all these Bond movies, is always just a beautiful specimen.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what they have to be. That's like, the way you cast it. Find something beautiful and tall and masculine. That'll be the third rank.
They don't speak.
Henchman. No, they won't speak.
They have beautiful eyes.
They have beautiful eyes. They have a lot of muscle.
Yeah. Okay, so the other guy also.
The other guy was so good.
I know. I love him.
Especially because we talk about the cultural crossover stuff, like how even with one of our main Bond girls, I can feel like the strangeness in her that I assume is because she's coming from another culture. Maud. Not Maud. The other girl. Magda, sorry.
Yes.
Especially because you see that in her, seeing him, like he has none of that. He's so like fantastic. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he was just from the UK and they were like, well, but you're Indian, so we'll have you in this film. Like that's very likely. He just is so...
It is, yeah.
He's so good. He really gets all the comedic timing really wonderfully. And I love some of the stuff he wears.
He's
wonderful.
Yeah. He's I feel like you just want to be his friend. And I think they often pick a nice, like, charismatic guy to be his sidekick, sort of.
Especially like in a foreign country. Yeah, like the person who's meant to be kind of... He's kind of the representative for India in this. Like that's usually the character's role. Yeah.
Yeah. And he actually is a tennis player. You know how there's a short line where he mentions it, like, oh, I play tennis with the King's Palace or something like that, or wherever. And so he teaches, I think in LA, like tennis lessons. Still.
That's so cool.
Like, I know. It's very cute. That's why they had the little tennis match like gimmick when they were going through the town in the tuk-tuk type thing.
Dude, that stuff was so fun.
I know.
That was so the fun part of this. And I like that they had the at least the funness is very much the spirit of India, I think. So I'm down with that.
Yeah, me too. So fun. Yes.
So freaking fun. Okay, a couple other little moments. This movie had some fantastic judo chops. Yes. 2 really standout judo chops. So just had to say,
I think I can recall one. Yes. Okay.
there's one in the very beginning that's like a GIF. If you just Google judo chop Bond, you get the GIF of it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And then there's another one that's very similar, like a judo chop from the back, and then the guy falls. I know. It's like the same in different outfits.
Yeah. Yep.
The moment in this one where James Bond, okay, so this alligator starts coming up through the water, and my mom's like, oh, the gator's gonna get him or something like that, and then the mouth swings open and Bond is in there, and it's Roger Moore Bond, so he's doing his like cartoon eyes looking around and everything, and my mom just like cackles, and she's like scream laughing for like a solid 5 minutes. She like her breath goes away, and zero sound is coming out, just like hissing. She is loving, which means I'm doing the same. Like you can't not do that in a room full of that. Coming. So funny, so wonderful. So funny. So many great moments. I loved that moment.
I'm so happy you brought that up. Yeah, this has like hilarious gadgety moments. It's so funny. That one's great, and just like kind of cool and scary looking gadgets, like all the stuff that the henchman is using, like the saw shit.
Oh my God, yo-yo saw,
like yo-yo saw. But yeah, I like all of the tools and the gadgets.
Yeah, very cool tools. I love also. I think it's Bond who's in a gorilla suit. Just like okay, wow.
I just literally put him in everything.
Dude, when we talk about doing an episode on Bond's best like disguises like that, I'm like, they're just all gonna be Roger Moore.
They are.
Which they just might. They're all gonna be from this movie, Roger Moore. Like every animal it's disguise. Like except the
zero
duck.
Daniel Craig movies, and then
zero.
Roger Moore.
Absolutely zero. A lot of these lists are gonna have 0 Daniel Craig movies, I feel like.
There's one Daniel Craig outfit, the skeleton, the Dia de los Muertos outfit.
But I don't think that would even hit a top list, to be honest. Even top 10, I don't know. Like
okay, yeah, there's other better ones. You're right.
Oh my God, yes. So many good things. I have to say, I thought prior to watching this that when I watch this movie, I will be happier about the name Octopussy. It'll make more sense. It'll be better. And I watched this movie, and all I got was more angry and annoyed, and just like fucking Octopussy, gross. And also especially the moment where she's like, it's a fucking nickname that her dad gave her as a child. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Octopussy?
Yes, fucking weird.
Your dad needs to go to jail. Like, you were clearly molested. And more. No. Like, is this her way of reaching out, being like, is she doing like, help me eyes?
Stockholm syndrome?
My dad gave me this nickname. Like, what? Also, like, you know, if it's related to this poisonous octopus, are you trying to say your dad was like, this octopus kills people, small baby, and it reminds me of you and your pussy? Like, what?
Oh my God.
I can't say what harder.
You're right. The octopus kills you. Okay, so the clearly even the people, the cast members were like, what?
Really?
Like, why? You know? Yeah, about the name. And so there were a lot of them just kind of are like, okay, well, it was Ian Fleming wrote it in his books, and that was the title of one of his short stories. So sure, or something.
Oh, is that why?
And they kind of forgive it as that. Yeah, but like that doesn't forgive, or that still doesn't make sense for why like, you'd call anything Octopussy.
It has no connection. There are so many.
no connection. I don't know. The funny thing that Magda, Christina Wayborn, the actress, said is she's like, was asked about it, and she's like, well, yeah, like, you know, clearly not so happy with the name. She's like, but you know, you kind of get used to it. It's not so bad. She's like, once you get used to it, it's not so bad.
See, that's exactly what women have said through all of time. Women and people whose races get like fucked with, like, you know, I'm sure that your mom was probably saying the same thing when we talked about You Only Live Twice. She was probably like, yeah, I don't like it, but you get used to it. Like, I honestly think that might have been something she said. We had notes from her when we watched that, didn't we?
Yeah.
That's just how it is. And
yeah,
that's the plus side of the current culture, shifting that so we don't have to just be getting used to things that are terrible. But the downside is cancel culture, and I don't like that part.
I know. It's
we don't want to cancel things. We just want to evolve them. We want to step them up into the future, love them for what they have been, and love them for what they continue to be and how to improve it. But I have to say, the Octopussy thing, like, I love that it was used in like the architecture. Like, we just have octopus stuff, the octopus fucking bed, the octopus sculpting into like bits of the wall, like so cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, I don't like the way it was used though in like two-dimensional art, like the tattoo, clearly a fake tattoo, so ugly, so gross, bad. Weird, so bad. The painting on the back of the robe or whatever you call it, I know some people love it, and go you. I'm so glad. I wish I loved it. I hate it. I think it looks really ugly and weird and gross.
I know. I almost wanted to kill it, but for the iconicness of the robe.
It is iconic though. So yeah, like, well, okay.
I was like, yeah, it's still iconic, and you know, she owns it. She wears it and she owns it. Like the robe looks great on her.
I mean, it's on the back, so she doesn't have to look at that part. Exactly. So it's easier. Just kidding. But like, what's annoying about it is
also with the tattoo.
Yeah,
it's on the back, so you don't have to look at it.
Yeah. What's annoying about all this though is like, there are so many Bond movies that take place in and around and in very water-centric places. This wasn't even a water-centric place. Like there's no opportunity for octopus anything to like come naturally into the story. They just threw it in there. Like, this octopus has nothing to do with anything. Of course they had to kill someone with it, so they're just like, oh, she'll have a tank with the octopus. She'll just be something she loves as octopuses. Just have her really like that. Her dad named her it as a kid. Like, what? All of this is just, do we have to complicate the freaking Faberge egg any harder than adding this? What? Okay.
Faberge egg. Almost forgot about the Faberge egg. Yeah.
Dude, also, everyone in the movie forgets about the Faberge egg because it's the purpose for everything, and then it just gets smashed like halfway through the movie and no one cares. And then guess what? The replica's smashed. Still, no one cares. All there is like a zoom where someone's like, oh, you smashed it. That's it. That's it. No one cares. No association. What was the value of it in the first place? Why were we so interested in it? Doesn't matter. No one cares. It doesn't matter. It's nothing. Yeah. Same thing with the freaking octopus shit.
We like, needed an auction scene.
Yeah, you know? This whole movie is just like, it's fine. Who cares? Fine. It's fine. As long as he's kissing her and there's a boner analogy in the last shot, we'll be fine.
Oh my god.
Which there is, him laying in a freaking bed with her with his leg bonered up. Oh my god. There are some really sexist moments in this, and even my mom was just like, oh god. Like my mom is more tolerant because you know, she's more used to it than me, and even she was saying some things, and I was like, yeah, well, it's an old Bond movie. It's, what can you do?
You're like telling your mom. Yeah. It's an old Bond movie, mom.
Yeah. The girl, I keep wanting to say Maud, and it's not Maud. The other girl.
The other one is Magda.
There's a moment where she and Bond have like talked a few times, and then suddenly in a snap they're just in bed like making out. She's naked, all this, and my mom literally said out loud, I wrote it down, she goes, how did this happen? She's like, not believable at all. Anyway, very cute. Very cute from mom, not cute from filmmaking, but that's fine. And there's a moment, I don't know that I agree with my mom with this. I think it's a little bit an old perspective, but I thought it was really cute also. There's a moment later in the movie after we've been at this like woman's lair place she has, where my mom just randomly goes, they're all lesbians. It's clear. And she's saying it because these guys are trying to like get in, and she's like, come on, like they're trying to be seducing these women or something. And she's like, get off it.
They're all lesbians.
She's
That's
like,
funny. Yeah.
Go mind your own business and let them be. Yeah.
Cute. Yes.
I thought it was so funny.
Love it. Yes. Girl gang.
Oh.
I love the girl gang aspect of this, and when they're all dressed in similar outfits and stuff, and you know they have a uniform. Love that.
Yes, even though it's like a thing 1, thing 2 half the time, which is
maybe not those uniforms.
The fact that they're in uniforms is kind of cool, and like it's eye catching. All right,
Yeah, you're talking about the red, right? I was talking about like the bikini ones.
I just
or
meant like part of it is the red. They have they have a few different, and some of them are the best.
Do ensemble outfits,
but maybe not every part.
But yeah, overall, this is still kind of a middle of the road Bond movie for me. Like I just get lost in the visual of it every time and just don't pay attention to much else. And then in the fun, the fun action sequences, like this has great stunts in it, which I love. And then, but
it's a good kind of cartoony, like some Roger Moore. When he starts getting even older, it gets so cartoony that you're like, this is actually like a comics in the newspaper, like a little too much for Bond.
Yeah.
This one is kind of it's very cartoony, but I think it's still good cartoony for Bond.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's definitely fun.
Yeah, it's still fun. Still super enjoyable.
Not one I rewatch a lot, though. It's not one that I often watch.
This movie, more than any Bond movie yet, has made me really want to make my own spy movie, like make a short.
Cute.
And to have the I wrote down that the item that has like been stolen that he needs to recover or something like that needs to be it needs to be a Faberge egg with microfilm inside.
Okay.
I just think that's fucking incredible. It's always fucking zoom and enhanced microfilm Faberge egg. Like, why were Faberge eggs such a spy thing? Like, I honestly want to look up the history of Faberge eggs to understand why did they become such a trope for being stolen in spy stuff. My guesses are either one, some really impactful historical moment happened where a Faberge egg was stolen. So like, when the Russian oligarchs were taken down, someone stole, because, there's a lot of theft in those, Romanov's era Russian stuff. So like maybe it was something like that. Or maybe Faberge eggs, they were like really new, and there was all the, the way Beanie Babies were like out of nowhere just became this big popular thing. Like maybe the idea of Faberge eggs equaling wealth became this huge popular thing. Like in that way, like there has to be a reason.
Gosh, I don't know.
Because it's in so many spy movies.
And
is. Movies in general about like wealth. It's like Faberge eggs.
In oceans. Yeah.
Just the word Faberge egg.
Okay, maybe like that is some back research I'm curious to learn, about.
I gotta find it out.
Yeah, we'll maybe look into this. I'm like
maybe
clearly
someday.
trying not to commit.
Because we're like, what if we find nothing and it's boring too? Or like, I'm not great at.
Or if you guys know, listeners, tell me.
It's such an obscure thing to look up. I'm not good at researching obscure things unless they're in my areas of knowledge. So that's that.
Yes,
well,
Faberge
anyway,
eggs.
thanks for listening, guys and gals and non-binary lovelies. If you know about Faberge eggs, please
educate us.
Hit us up. We're stoked to find out. We hope you enjoyed this. We hope you enjoyed the movie. And if you didn't, that's great too. Let us know your thoughts on it. What outfits you liked. You can find us on Instagram at Dressed to Kill Pod, which is our best place if you want to give us thoughts. Please, please, please. This video will also be on Instagram. Well, the photos will be on Instagram. This video will also be on YouTube, but this isn't a video episode, so it's just our logo. But please leave us comments there. We're happy to respond. Love it. Our Instagram. I keep saying Instagram. Our YouTube channel is Dressed to Kill Pod also. So you just Google Dressed to Kill Pod on YouTube. And we have a Twitter account at DTKPOD. Give us every communication. We like this to be a conversation. We really, really do. So please, any thoughts?
Yes.
Share them in.
Yeah.
Share them in.
Tell us what you think about the red jumpsuit, the red acrobat outfits, or
thing one and thing two is
yes.
Please let us know what you think. And we'll see we'll speak to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.